Okay, Driftwood Music, this has got to be the place, and you must be the man.
How's it going, Mo?
All right, Pete, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for coming into the shop today.
And everything I know about this place, it sounds like that we're gonna have a great time today.
We are going to have a great time, and I'm excited to show it to you.
All right, man, let's do it.
All right.
All right, cool. Can you just show me how I can try to fix something?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd be
Is it
glad
possible?
It is possible. Now, it takes a lot of years of training to really get good at it. So we're going to start you off on what we call a basement guitar here. It's a guitar that, for lack of a better term, is totaled. You know, it's a guitar that if we fixed it, it'd be worth about $300, but it needs about $1,500 worth of repairs before it gets there.
I'm game. We give it a shot?
That sounds good. Let's
Nope.
give it a shot. So the first thing that we need to do is remove the strings from the guitar. What we'll do is we'll get them to where they're just kind of flopping around. You don't want to cut them off when there's a lot of tension. Just grab that and keep twisting here. Sorry, a lot of awkward angles here.
Where did it all begin?
My dad played guitar, and I remember going to bed and having my dad playing guitar for my mom out in the living room. I know it's a picture-perfect situation, but that's just kind of how it was. But then Dad switched jobs, so the guitar kind of just got tucked under the bed, and we didn't hear it as much anymore. And so just being a kid, you know, I guess around 10, 11 years old, I found the guitar and I was like, oh, look at this. And then I probably started strumming it with a G.I. Joe. My dad was like, what are you doing with my guitar? That's the nice one, you know? And so we went over to Grandma's basement, got an old guitar out of her basement, and my dad started showing me some chords. I loved it. It was kind of an escape for me. This is my old grade school folder that I still have, and there's a bunch of guitar parts even drawn onto this folder. I think it was probably my math folder or something. But I was always interested in the guitar parts and the construction of it and what all it took to make it work. And so I designed some of these guitars when I was in junior high, and I've kept this folder. And having something that just kind of got my mind away from the schoolwork was really healing for me. And I dove in. It's all over the place, but there's all sorts of these guitars that I just thought up and would draw out on graph paper.
Wow.
They're a little bit hard. This is an old guitar. So one of the things that we'll do before we put new strings on is we'll lubricate those tuners. Yeah,
It's a tight turn.
it's a tough one, and sometimes you got to use a little twisty thing like this on there. So if you put this on there, it kind of gives you a little bit of leverage.
How do people feel when you're working on this stuff? I mean, what kind of love are you putting into this work here?
So obviously I have a love for the history of these instruments, and a lot of the guitars that need work are older instruments that need to be brought back to life. There's a lot of people that have instruments that have been in their family for generations, you know, or they've had them since they were 16 and they're in their 60s, you know. And so, yeah, there's definitely an emotional attachment to some of these instruments, and there's guys that are kind of, okay, I called around, I looked at all the reviews, I did all my research, and you're the guy I hear, you know. And so they walk in and you can tell as they're handing their guitar over to you or as they're putting their case on the desk that this is something special to them. You got to know that, and you got to respect that. And I'm glad and honored, honestly, that I'm that guy for those people. Once we've relaxed the tension on the strings, then we can clip them. We relax the tension so that we don't shock the guitar.
Okay.
And then we just kind of clip the guitar strings like this. If you want to grab the other ones.
Sure. Take care of that one by one. There we go.
Perfect, perfect. In a lot of guitar shops, you'll notice the workbenches aren't out in the open like they are here. What we found is people love watching. They think it's really interesting what we do with guitars. When they see us drilling a hole in a guitar, they're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? And then you tell them, oh, well, we know what we're doing. This is why we're doing what we're doing. When we're pulling frets out or we're replacing things on guitars, they can really see a professional working on a guitar. If we're doing it out in the open, you can trust it too. You know, there's a certain comfort in, hey, we don't have anything to hide. We're here, we know what we're doing, we're confident in what we're doing, and we can show you. So the next step, we're going to be taking the fret off of this guitar. So now typically what we would do is we would heat this fret before we would pull it because it softens the wood. On this old Harmony, they used a softer type of wood, and they also lacquered over the fingerboard. So in this particular case, we're not going to heat it because if we heated it, we would darken some of that lacquer, even this little white inlay. Okay. We don't want to turn that brown and make it look like we were there. Okay. This is one of the rare cases where it's better to not heat it. So these are what they call fret pullers.
Fret pullers.
And you start at a corner, and you want to make sure that those pliers are flush with the fingerboard. Yeah, I ended up working for a large guitar corporation down in Nashville, Tennessee called Gibson Guitars, and I worked in their custom historic and art division. If you work faster than the person in front of you, you got two options. You can either sit down and wait for the next guitar to come your way, or you can get off your butt and go learn something, right?
Yeah.
And I was there, I wasn't there because I needed a job, I was there because I wanted to build guitars. I find joy in making, and everybody has their part in that. So an artist loves to make a painting, you know, a baker loves to bake a cake, people love to make food. People like to make and create things, and I think that's in our core.
Just kind of move it just a little bit.
Kind of moving a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
It's coming up. And so in making guitars, I get to make something. As far as guitars, why I'm really in love with it, it's really just a way that I can shape something into sound. It looks like it's coming pretty nicely for you. There you go.
I got it.
You got it. It's out.
It's here.
It's there.
All right.
So in making guitars, I get to make something and I get to hear it. Not only do I get to make it, but I get to give it to people as a gift, you know, and then they get to make music with it. They get to make with it as well.